Bumblebee movie Blitzwing, version 2.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Say here. Let's get right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bumblebee movie Blitzwing V2 in the building. Let's go. Now, I really like the way this build came out in both modes a lot, but oh my gosh, this thing is so unreasonably fragile, it's ridiculous. Like, getting this guy to transform all in one piece was super frustrating. And I actually had to take this transformation 2 different times before I actually got some successful transformation footage. Because during the transformation before this thing just spontaneously collapsed on me. Now, for those of you who do not know who Blitzwing is, he is a Decepticon that transforms into a McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom. And he actually holds a personal grudge against Bumblebee. But y'all already know my man's Bumblebee put in work, so he ended up killing Blitzwing in the movie by taking one of his own missiles and stabbing it into his chest, causing him to explode. On another note though, if you guys are interested in seeing my Transformers Bumblebee movie Bumblebee, I will leave the link to that video at the end of this one. Now, let's not forget, this is the V2, okay? So let's talk improvements. First things first, I did finally get the wings to be in the correct position that they're supposed to be in his vehicle mode here. Because with the V1, the wings were closer towards the top, and it ended up making Blitzwing here look more like a Harrier jet than an F4 Phantom. Now, getting the wings to be in the right position actually caused them to be about 2 times more fragile than they were in the V1. And that's because they're actually hanging off this Technic piece here at like a 90-degree angle. Due to clearance issues, they could not be reinforced at all. Now, another thing that I'm really glad that I managed to get into this design is the literal engines on the back of the jet right here. Because the V1 didn't actually have any engines at all. This back section here kind of just went straight back and was smooth. So I feel like the engines add a nice realistic touch to this build. Additionally, the V1 was just massive. Like, this one is big, but the V1 was like 20% larger than this. And that's because I designed the V1 to transform a little bit different than this version here. Like, the V1 was more of a shell former, whereas with this version right here, the limbs actually form the components of the jet themselves. Oh. And for a size comparison here, Blitzwing is coming in at a good 18 inches from nose to tail. And as for the wing to wing measurements, we're looking at a good 16 inches from wing to wing, which is way smaller than the V1. Now, another reason that I scaled down was actually because I thought everything would be more manageable if I scaled down. But it actually got worse. What? This tail right here is gonna be the end of me, because getting this thing to stay situated on his back in his robot mode takes like 20 minutes. But honestly, that's because with this version, the tail actually folds up to reduce the amount of kibble on his back. Now, you would think that since I built this already, it wouldn't take that long to build it again, but no. V1 took 28 hours and V2 took 32. So the V2 took a lot longer than I expected, but it came out way better. Now, we're about to get into that robot mode, but before we do that, I'm gonna need you to hit that like button. That's what I'm gonna need you to do. And then I'm going to have to inform you of a Lego competition that I will be judging. Huh? So this Lego competition will be hosted by a Lego builder by the name of Teenly Builds. And your task will be to build a Transformer from the new Transformers Rise of the Beast movie franchise. You will have a month to do it, and I will not be the only judge. So if you guys are interested in joining this Lego competition, then I will leave the link to Teenly Build's Instagram page in my description, and you can message him for more details. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
Okay, so y'all already know we gotta turn up for the V2 robot mode.
Hold on a minute, say. I don't mean to be that guy, but this looks just like the version 1.
Now you see, now that's where you're wrong. Okay. Because although they may look very similar, the V2 is more compact, smaller, and more detailed overall. If we take a look at the legs here, the V1 had just a series of brick and plate pieces that kind of formed up the legs here. Whereas with the V2, we got the engines on the bottom of the feet now, a couple of vent and slope pieces to form up the detailing in his legs, along with some more movie accurate feet and even a couple of pieces on the bottom of the feet here to simulate the landing gear that's supposed to be there. Not only that, I added an additional split within the cockpit windows here just to give him that extra bit of accuracy. Now the V1 face was already pretty good, but I added even more details into the V2 right here to make it even more good. And lastly, due to the lack of points of articulation, the V1 had this weird issue with its leg placement. So because the front of the plane flips under Blitzwing's waist here and in between his thighs, the legs on the version 1 were positioned a little bit too far out. But with the version 2 here, I added an additional point of articulation in between his thighs and his waist. So this allows for the front of the plane to still flip down in between his legs, but at the same time, the legs don't have to be so far apart from each other.
Now that's good thinking. No, I like this, say. I really like this. I'm gonna send you over to Tom so he can take a second look. Tom. Yeah, the backing on that version 1 was looking a little bit too uncontrolled. Did you at least make it fold up this time, say?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully managed to fold up the back kibble. Now, I mean, it's still crazy, but at least we don't have that bridge action going that we had on that version 1.
Well, now that's just great, say.
Yo, good looking out, Jim. I really appreciate that.
Oh my God! Okay, say, we see you've got a lot of things to worry about over there. We're gonna let you get right back to it. Thanks for dropping by.
And as for a size comparison, Blitzwing here is coming in at a good 8 inches from head to toe. And then here we have Blitzwing with the hand cannon. And I'm not even gonna hold you, I didn't like that Bumblebee movie. But is it just me, or does every design from that movie just look amazing? Like the half Bayverse, half G1 designs that all these guys had all looked good to me. But in the comments below, let me know who your favorite Bumblebee movie Transformer is.